break the ice by saying, like, I don't know. So I'm from the capital of Ireland, and it's a growing city. Every year the population is doubling.
Ha ha ha.
Sorry. Welcome to English with Lewis. Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to English with Lewis, and another week, another amazing guest. So without further ado, Claire, hello, welcome.
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. We've got a lot of great things to talk about today. I'm very excited. I'm too excited, maybe.
The list is endless. You're absolutely buzzing. You cannot
I'm
wait, can
so
you?
excited. No,
Highlight
because
of the day.
I've been waiting for this all week. I'm like, let's do it. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. Very
All week,
excited.
all month, all year.
Just the highlight. I don't know how I'm gonna, deal with it when it's over,
I'm getting sad just thinking about it already.
Let's not. It's only
Uh,
the beginning.
Live in the moment, in the
Yeah,
present.
absolutely.
But anyway, I'm sure many people already know you here. But in case anybody hasn't seen your face before, please, Claire, tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. If you haven't seen my face before, and if you have, also hello. I am Claire, and I run Englii, which helps you learn English. So first and foremost, I'm an English teacher, an English language teacher. And I'm also a content creator. So if you have seen my face, it's probably related to teaching you something in English. Yeah, I have an Instagram and a TikTok and also a YouTube channel, but it's a little bit dormant at the moment.
Mhm.
But you never know, you might see my face on YouTube as well. It might come very soon.
Coming soon. This is the official announcement that
Like a
new
little
YouTube
hint.
videos are coming soon.
Yes, that's the tagline. Breaking news. No, no.
Woohoo!
So excited. No, yeah. If you see me soon here on YouTube, that's why Lewis broke the news first.
Exactly. Yes. So yeah, you're Claire, you run Englii, content creator, English teacher, of course.
Mhm.
Where are you from and where do you live at the moment?
Well, I'm from Ireland. More specifically, I'm from Dublin, so the capital. Most people know where Dublin is. But I don't live in Ireland anymore. I live in Spain, in Barcelona. So very different weather completely. I switched rainy gray days for sunny blue skies, which I think was a good choice, if I might say so myself. Although a lot of people do say that when it gets to summertime, I will miss the rain. And I think that's quite possible. It gets very hot in Spain.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about that.
Awesome. And you live in Barcelona at the moment, but have you always lived in Barcelona whilst you were in Spain?
No, I've moved quite a bit. I've moved more than I've ever moved in Ireland. I lived in Granada, so
Mhm.
down in the south of Spain, in Andalusia. And then I lived in Cordoba, so Cordoba in English, because the accents always
Ole.
get me. And yeah, then I moved to Barcelona. So I was really primarily down in the south for a while. I feel like it's almost like I've completely shifted coming up north. It's definitely not as hot, so I'm okay with that. And I think I'll be again very grateful when summer rolls around for that. Not to be 45 degrees, I hope. It's too much for me. I can't
Fingers
deal with
crossed.
that. I know. It was a lot of not leaving my house in the summer. Honestly, I couldn't deal with the
Yeah.
heat. I'm from Ireland. It never gets more than 25 degrees max. Like
And,
that's a good day.
and the sun all the time. Like you must walk out and it's like, ugh.
Okay with that. But the when it's 45 degrees, no, because you just find yourself just not able to move really. Like you don't want to. You just want to stay indoors and huddle next to the air conditioner all day. But I'm okay with that. I'll take that over like gray, rainy days anytime because sometimes it gets a bit much. I'm sure you know as well, coming from the UK, the
I
weather
know
situation.
exactly what you're talking about because obviously I'm from the north of England, so
Mm,
the weather's the same really in England and Ireland. Maybe there are slight differences. I think it's better if you're in the
more or
south
less.
of England. Um,
Yeah.
in particular,
Yeah.
in London, it doesn't rain quite as much as in the north of England and maybe Ireland, but it's very
Mm.
unpredictable all the time. It's always grey, it's cloudy, it's raining. It's usually not like pissing it down or pouring it down and raining a lot. It's just
Lashing, absolutely lashing all the
constant
time.
drizzle.
Yeah,
All
it's
the
that.
time.
And you can never use an umbrella because it's always just windy enough not to hold up an umbrella. So yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with the sun. I'll make my peace with 45 degrees if it's not lashing every day. I'm okay. I can do a little bit, but yeah, I like the sun. It really impacts my mood as it does everyone, I think. That's why people go on holidays.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why many people from the UK and Ireland want to leave.
Yeah, yeah, they want to get into the sunshine. It's very nice. Although I think the one thing I absolutely hate doing is putting on sun cream like every time I want to go outside.
Mhm.
You never think about that when you're back home, but then you have to or you get sunburned. So, yeah, that's my only criticism. I don't like doing
Yeah,
that.
100%. Like even sunglasses. Like I think before moving to Spain, I never
Mhm.
wore sunglasses like at all because it might be a little bit sunny some days, but
Yeah.
you don't have the habit of wearing them. And then in Spain, in particular in the south of Spain, even in winter, winters are
Oh, you need
incredible
them,
in
yeah.
Andalusia. They're amazing. It's dry, it's sunny, it's like 20 degrees. Oh, it's
Yeah.
better than like summer in England and Ireland. It's amazing.
Exactly. Although I think there is that one period of time where it's like really, really cold, like bitterly cold. And I'm like, what's going on? I thought it was Spain. It's supposed to be warm. But that only lasts like a really short period of time. And then it's back to glorious sunshine all the time. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having to remember my sunglasses and put on my sun cream for that. That's okay. But yeah, I really like Spain. It's great.
No
It's really
problem at
different.
all. And just recapping some of this vocabulary. So I mentioned that it's pissing it down, it's pouring it down. This means to rain heavily, but you used a different phrase. What
I
was
said lashing. It's lashing. Yes. So we use that in Ireland for it's raining a lot as well. I think that's the beauty of it. We have so many ways to talk about rain, don't we? So many. Yeah, bucketing, lashing, pouring.
throwing it down?
Ugh, you could just say anything and it means it's raining, I think.
Just finish it with down and it probably works.
Yeah, it's
It's
rain.
tearing it down at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Or my favorite is usually like, I don't know, like get the washing in, because that means it's raining. Your laundry's outside.
Exactly.
Always very important. Very
Perfect.
funny.
Another one you used is it's
Mm.
bitterly cold. So another alternative to saying that it's freezing, it's very cold, you
Mhm.
say it's bitterly cold.
Bitter.
It's
Mhm.
Baltic at the moment.
Yes. Again, we have loads of those
Oh,
because
no.
we have. Yeah, bitterly cold. I like that one. Freezing, Baltic. You did some good ones out there. Hopefully people don't need these.
Yeah. I'm sure you live in lovely, warm, beautiful places.
No.
And the UK and Ireland's also beautiful. It's just, different to Spain. Um,
Yes. But it is green, so you have to take it. Got the really beautiful, scenery. That's okay, but you need the rain for that. So compromising.
exactly, that's what it's all about. Now, going back to your career and what you do, so you're a content
Mm.
creator and teacher, but at university, what did you study?
I studied marketing. So yeah, I did all the fun stuff about different marketing strategies and things like that. And then I also did a CELTA. So that's an English language teaching certificate for those people who don't know. And just that teaches you how to teach English as a second language. And then I was primarily doing that for a long time in Ireland. I was teaching in a classroom in Dublin, and then the pandemic hit. So I really wasn't using my marketing degree at all after I got it. But then it came in useful later on. So I I started teaching online during the pandemic. I feel like that's like every teacher's story. We didn't stop, we just moved online.
Uh-huh. We
And
were
yeah,
ready.
then yeah, we were like, how can I connect? How can I get out there to my students? Like, I remember the first time I used Zoom, I didn't understand it. And now I'm just like, yeah, Zoom, I get it, I understand. So yeah, I was teaching online, and then I started making like videos for my students because I just felt there was a disconnect, going from this fun interactive classroom to just like being on screen like this. So I started using social media to like post little videos, and if they wanted to follow and get those videos, they could. And then more and more people from around the world started following me. So I was like, oh, people are interested in this. So I just kept making making the videos.
Uh-huh.
And then I started thinking, oh, my degree is related to marketing. So how can I market myself? And yeah, I started doing that in combination with my content. And I do a little bit marketing as well outside of Englii, which is nice. So I feel like I've made use of everything that I've studied in some shape or form. But yeah, definitely different ways to do things. But I think that's the fun thing about being online is like there are many avenues that you can go down, which is great. And being on a digital platform is really cool. I like it. You can connect to everybody in the world. It's great.
So it sounds like you're kind of making the most of both things that you studied, combining both things.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. So, in classroom teaching compared to online teaching, first,
Mhm.
what's the transition, apart from not knowing how to use Zoom? And now it's like, do you ever teach in person? And do you miss it if so?
That's a really good question. When I think about the transition, because I'm a teacher who likes kinesthetic learning. I think it's really, dynamic. So the idea of like, little games and activities where like students have to move and interact with things. I really liked doing that. I had like a laminator and I was
Wow.
printing and laminating, cutting like every night. And then yeah, when the pandemic happened, we just went online, and that dynamic disappeared. And it was very hard because one, students were like, obviously they wanted to be in the classroom. A lot of people had come from all over the world to be in Dublin, and then they were sitting in a room. And as a teacher, I wanted them to have fun and enjoy their class, but I could tell like it wasn't what they wanted. So I adapted. I brought in, games that I could find online, or made things, and I tried to make it as dynamic as you can online. So that was for a while. And yeah, I think since then I haven't taught in a classroom. I started teaching like more one-to-one classes, and I think that's a little bit easier then, because it's, you can give your attention fully to one person, which is nice. And I found ways to adapt online a little bit better. But yeah, I haven't been back in a classroom in the sense of teaching. I've been to conferences where I've been in a classroom and
Yeah.
I've been teaching, things, but not English language specific classroom. No. Yeah, I know. It's when I said that out loud, I was like, really haven't. I remember it was right before St. Patrick's Day as well when we went online. So it's like stuck in my head. I can visualize that week before everything shut down very well. I'm sure everyone can.
Hard
Um,
times. Sad times. But
yeah, but then I think about now and I'm like, I think it's brilliant. We can all just be, as you always say, be anywhere in the world, and continue to interact or learn. And I think that's great. And yeah, I really enjoy that now because I feel like I connect to so many people that I wouldn't have done before. So yeah, I'm online primarily.
nice.
I'm a little digital nomad.
Sounds very cool if you say a digital nomad. You're very
It
nomadic,
does.
move
I'm
around
not
with
really
a laptop.
nomadic. I tend to stay in one place for the most part. But it sounds cool, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. A nice little expression that comes to mind that I've used before related to the pandemic is
Mm.
that you could say that every cloud has a silver lining, which means
Mm.
that from every bad or dark situation, you can always get something positive out of it. So in this case, for many teachers and many workers in general, such a traumatic, horrible time actually gave us one benefit at least, which was to be able to teach online, work remotely, and this nowadays is great to give us this flexibility. And
Yeah, I agree 100%.
yeah. And it's funny because I asked you the question, I didn't really think about it myself because
Mm.
I was offered some classes to teach in person for more than what I would usually get paid recently. And
Mm.
when I reacted to that, I was like, that'll be easy, more money, why not? But then when I started thinking about it, I was like, oh, it's a big class, like 15 people. I'm not used to that anymore with Zoom and one-to-one classes or like four
Mm.
people in a group. So I started thinking about it and thinking like, maybe I've forgotten to teach online.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You never forget.
Walk straight in, my cheeks would go bright red, and I'm like, where's my whiteboard?
Oh no. I think it's one of those things. You might be a little rusty, but I don't think you forget. I think it comes back to you eventually. But yeah, I think that really helped me become more confident as a person because I used to walk into like 16 strangers on a Monday and you just had to be like, hey, let's get going. Like, no, you couldn't be embarrassed or shy. You just had to get into it and yeah, teach. That's been a great thing. I think it seems easy, but then you're like, that alone is a scary thing to do for sure. Especially if you're an introvert, you might be like, okay, yeah, you can't make that face. You can't. You have to go in with confidence. It's a
Gotta fake it until you
big part.
make it,
Fake it until you
Keep
make
trying
it.
until you make it. And when
Exactly.
you were mentioning that, you also said that you've been to some like conferences recently. Tell us a little bit about this. What are these conferences and what kind of talks have you given at these conferences?
Oh, well, buckle up. I've been to a lot
Let's
this
go.
year. I just went to one like this weekend. I was at Innovate ELT, so that was in Barcelona, so I didn't have to go too far. And then before that, in April, I was at ITEFL, which was in Brighton, so had to go over to the UK for that. I tend to just go to conferences that relate to the English language. So there where lots of teachers come, lots of publishers, educators, and we talk about kind of ideas and we teach other methods of teaching and styles. So it's really just like a way for teachers to come and learn how to be better teachers. I really find it useful and it motivates me so much to keep just being a better teacher. I think that's important. And yeah, at the conferences, I like to talk about kind of making things for social media. So I've given a few talks on like how to make content for social media and how to teach online. So it relates to my industry, and then I'm like teaching other teachers who want to do the same thing. So it's nice. It's like you learn and you teach at the same time. And yeah, I think that's a big part of being a better teacher is continuing to study.
Yeah.
Study to be
Every
better.
day is a school day, as they say. Every day you learn something new.
Exactly. So those conferences are great for that. I think everyone has something to teach, and if you're open to hearing things and listening to each other, I think it's really beneficial. To just even learn like a style of teaching that you might not use. Or I went to a fabulous talk on like how not to kind of forget things, like maybe new vocabulary. It's like how to study in increments, so like
Yeah.
periods, so that you remember more. And less cramming is apparently the solution, which is weird because I love cramming. Um, but yeah, it's things like that. It helps me with my own language acquisition as well. So I'm trying to learn Spanish, and if I can learn some tips there, I'll take it. I'm okay with that as well. But I love conferences. They're just like fun meetups with other educators. So there's a little bit of like fun and a little bit of learning involved, which is great.
It sounds fun. And I guess many people who are listening or watching this will be thinking like, oh, if you're going to give a talk or a presentation in front of many people, it can be a little bit intimidating, a little bit daunting.
Mm-hmm.
And I know from time to time I will teach students who want to improve their public speaking and they want to be able to give a speech or a presentation in English. So, what advice would you give these people? How can you help them to give better presentations in English?
I do think it can be daunting, and especially if it's not your first language that you're giving your presentation in. But I think the biggest tip that I have heard and believe myself is that the people there want you to succeed. No one there is, waiting for you to mess up or fail. So to just take that into account before you give your presentation is to know that they're there to get something from you. And it's okay if, it doesn't go perfectly. Just keep going. That's a big thing I always feel. Sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes technology fails, or we, get our lines mixed up a little bit. But yeah, everyone there is generally going to be nice. So just to keep that in mind. I could probably give you loads of advice. I don't know if it's good advice, but maybe prepare a lot beforehand. If you're nervous, it helps. I tend to make my slides like a good bit in advance, and then I practice them with like a friend and they tell me what they liked about it, things like that. So if you're nervous, preparation is very important. But if you're okay with winging it and just doing it on the day, that's okay as well. As long as you have that confidence, it's all right.
Pretty perfect. Just wing it, improvise. Just play it by
Improvise
ear,
it.
It'll be fun.
See how it goes.
What's the worst that could happen,
Yeah, exactly. Well, probably, anything.
Fall over in front of the whole crowd.
You forget everything. If you've kind of prepared or you have a good idea, you should be fine. And yeah, I always keep in mind, the people watching you are they just want to learn, and most people are nice about it. So just, yeah, keep that in mind. I think the biggest tip I would give, if it's like something that you can do, especially if it's a workshop, is to just break the ice a little bit when you first arrive. So maybe get people talking to each other, introduce themselves, maybe ask a discussion question. And then you can move around and get involved. I think that always helps kind of make things less like silent, because I think a lot of people don't know how to react when they're in a presentation. They're like, am I allowed to ask questions? Can I talk? So you have to set the tone before you begin and let them know it's okay. We're casual.
Yeah, you can break the ice by saying like, I don't know. So I'm from the capital of Ireland and it's a growing city. Every year the population is doubling.
Ha ha ha.
Sorry. I love bad jokes and bad puns and play on words. And
it took me a minute there. I was like, It's a little slow.
Now I can add in like a little emoticon of like the desert, and you've got that. Oh, what's the name? Like, well. I don't remember. I've thrown you off. So
yeah, it's just like, I'm like, desert, what, ice? Where are we now?
Who knows? I was just thinking of the joke and I was like, I've got to say it.
The doubling, yeah. And I was like, I've never actually heard anyone use that joke out loud. I've seen it written, but I was like, oh, is that how you tell the joke? And then I was like, wait, I have to laugh. Oops,
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Well, we didn't rehearse this. Maybe I should have told you at some points. Like,
I'm gonna tell a great joke.
When I look away, laugh as much as you can.
Okay. Next time, next joke, give me like a signal.
But
I'll be ready.
Related to that and related to Ireland, I have a confession to make because I've never been to Ireland, and it's so
That's okay.
I've never been.
I know. I think that happens, right? You just think, oh, I'll go eventually. I'll go further first. Like Australia, you've been there, right? But you haven't been next door.
So it's a stone's throw away. It's so close, but so far.
Yeah, you should definitely go.
It's on my list, 100%. And I want to go to Dublin, but I'd like to go to Ireland and rent a car and see as much of the country as
Perfect.
possible. Um,
Yeah.
so if I were to do that, and if anyone is watching or listening to this and they're thinking about going to Ireland, where should they go and what should they do?
Oh, this is always a big question, and I definitely get this a lot. Um, Renting a car is great because Ireland is really, really small. I don't think people realize that until they go. And I don't realize the opposite. So when I look on a map of like Spain or when I'm in the UK, I just don't understand how things can be so far away from each other. Ireland is really small. You can drive anywhere in 4 hours. So
Mhm.
car is the way to go.
Okay.
But if you, yeah, I think Dublin's great. Obviously, it's my hometown. So you can do all the touristy things there. But I think going outside is always great. So there's different counties in Ireland, and Dublin is one. There's one really close called Wicklow, which is beautiful. There's places like Glendalough. I don't know if you like hiking. Maybe I'm giving you like
Yeah,
ideas. Maybe you
yeah.
like hiking.
Hiking. Hiking's cool. I
Hiking's
like
good,
it.
yeah. Or even just driving and looking and then get back in your car. Glendalough is beautiful. There's a lot of idyllic places in Ireland. I think the scenery is just stunning. So then I would go down to Cork, down the bottom.
Hmm.
Um, and Cork and Kerry are counties that are really close together. That's really where there's some stunning locations. There's a little thing called the Ring of Kerry, so you can do a loop in your car. That's gorgeous. There's Cove, which is in Cork, and it's where the last place the Titanic docked before
Oh,
setting off. So if you like kind of history, there's a little bit of that. Everyone goes to the cliffs of Moher, which is up on the west coast. There's so many places. You're like Claire, stop. You're gonna keep going. There's loads of places that you can visit in Ireland. Too many to list,
it
but
sounds like
so many.
we've got a good number of places. So definitely rent a car. Definitely
Yeah.
start. Your base could be Dublin, I suppose. It's the
Yeah.
biggest city, it's the capital. And then from
Yeah, but it's
around.
relatively big. I think people that like when I think of capitals, you're whoa. Dublin is like a small enough town you can get across it quite easily. I do miss that. I miss that aspect of like it's local. You can go around it really easily. There's lots of like pubs. The Guinness storehouse is there, so that's obviously very famous. A lot of people know Guinness. But we also have like whiskey distilleries
Uh-huh.
in Dublin. So if you like to try those things. It's good. There's like a good music scene. So if you like to go listen to like live music, there's lots of that. So yeah, there's really something for everyone in Ireland, but you want to pick a good time to go because sometimes it's raining all the time and a bit miserable.
Sometimes all the time, you never know. It might be
Sometimes all the time. It could be any of those. It's like 4 seasons in one day sometimes. So
what
you have
makes
to be ready.
cool. Anything could happen every single day.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Just have sunglasses, sun cream, an umbrella, raincoat. Just be ready for any type of weather and you're good to
Fine.
go.
It'll be
Yeah.
absolutely fine. If it starts lashing it down, just go to a pub, listen to some
Yeah.
live music, have a pint of Guinness and an Irish
Just
stew.
embrace the rain. Yeah, exactly. Irish stew. I would definitely recommend that if you're going to Ireland for sure. And go maybe in the summer, because that's when there's some good weather. I love that.
And then Irish slang. So the most
Ooh.
popular and common word maybe is crack,
Yeah.
spelled Craic. So if I ask you,
Yeah.
what's the crack? It's like, what's going on, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much like what's up? What's up? Anything happening like that. But in Dublin, everywhere has its own little slang term. So in Dublin, I've definitely heard what's the story a little bit more.
Or in
What's
Ballamori.
the story? Yes, I've heard that one too. So yeah, what's the crack is the one people know the most. It can be shortened to any crack, like really quick. It confuses people the most, I think. Well, the most, maybe not. I actually had a very funny conversation with someone over the weekend who is from Bolivia, but they live in Dublin. and they just completely misunderstood an Irish word, and they were using it incorrectly for a while. The word is grand. Now, I don't know what you think of when you think of the word grand. Any
Grand,
idea?
not grand.
Grand. Just grand. Do you think like big, amazing?
Sounds a little bit like rank, minging, like disgusting, maybe.
No, not quite. You're like,
And that.
that's a good guess. But I think normally most people think grand like, oh, big and amazing and great, right? That's what you think of. But in Ireland, it's not used in that way. So my friend or this lady I was talking to was she had some food brought in by someone and they were like, what do you think? And she's like, oh, it's grand, like thinking it's a really positive word. But in Ireland, it means it's all right. It's okay. So yeah, she wasn't giving the compliment she thought she was giving. It was kind of like, yeah, it's all right. Not great. But you use it like when people say, how are you? You go, grand, yeah, I'm grand, grand, no worries. It's a really nice bit of slang. Well, is it slang? I don't know if I would say.
I don't really know. It's interesting because I actually misunderstood you at first because I thought you said grandeur, like with a J.
Grand. Oh, you thought I was inventing a whole new word.
And I was
No.
like, oh, interesting. I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, I was like, I've never heard of this Irish word.
It sounds
No.
disgusting.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great. Grange with the j. Grand. Yeah, that's okay. You can be like, yeah, grand. I like that one a lot.
How are you? Grand.
Grand, yeah. It's not like good or bad. It's just like, yeah, I'm okay. But it's used for everything. So it's pretty much your go-to answer for any question. I really like that one.
Okay.
There's another one.
Savage.
Savage
Is like wild or crazy, maybe in like generic English, but in Irish, what does savage mean?
Savage is like really good.
It's Irish stew, it's savage.
Oh, it's absolutely savage. Yeah, like, but I wonder if it's more, I wonder where like the Irish slang is and then where the generational slang is, because I don't know if people use savage anymore. But I used to use it like all the time. Yeah, oh, it's absolutely savage. Or
savage,
deadly. Deadly is another one for like really good. Deadly. Which doesn't sound good, obviously, but yeah, you say something's deadly, it's great. So yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know where the slang comes from, but I love that one. Or what? There's a phrasal verb that you don't use in the UK. I know this from experience.
All right.
Giving out. What do you think of with that one? Giving out.
I mean, I think I might know, but first, if you give something out, you're like distributing it.
Yeah.
Maybe the teacher is giving out the homework at the end of the class. I think maybe I'm completely wrong, but does giving out mean like getting angry at people?
It's on that scale, absolutely.
On
I
the
would
right
say
lines?
kind of like complaining a little bit, or yeah, like arguing. Like it's a mixture because I've used it in different ways, but yeah, you can say, oh, she's always giving out, or like, I hate giving out, but you need to clean your room. So I've only learned recently that's used specifically in Ireland because no one else, when I say it, knows what I'm talking about. I've used it in front of American friends and people from the UK. They just don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, giving out can be used to talk about kind of complaining or moaning about something. So that's a fun one.
Giving out this morning. I don't know why.
But you gotta relax the G at the end. It's more like giving out.
Okay.
Just giving out. Always giving out.
Typical.
Yeah. Roll your eyes a little bit. Yeah, you got it. It's perfect. No, I love that one. That one's a fun one. And I've just recently learned it's Ireland. Ireland uses that. Probably have a few words that you don't use as well. Like, I don't know, brolly?
We use brolly. So an umbrella is a brolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use that in the UK as well. There's fella is quite common in Ireland.
Fella, yeah.
A guy or a man's like, here, who's that fella?
Who's that fella?
Um,
Yeah. Or your man. I've heard your man. People are like, he's not my man. And it's like, no, it means like that person, that guy. But yeah, I think that's the fun part. Those little
your
things
man's
are
giving
fun to
out.
hear. Your man's giving out. That's completely don't know what you're talking about. You've got it. You're in. You understand Irish slang.
Oh, savage.
You're like
Absolutely
only the
deadly.
beginning.
Okay,
Yeah,
anyway,
there's a lot.
let's move on and let's finish off just by asking each other some random quick debates. So basically, what do you prefer and why? So you can do this. Come on, this is going to be no savage. No,
Gotta
deadly.
be savage. Deadly.
So, first quick question is: do you prefer series or films, and why?
Okay, rapid fire. So, okay, I like films and I like bad films. I enjoy watching bad movies. You're just like, what?
Why? Why not good ones?
Because they're, if you watch them at people and you kind of know they're bad going in, like so bad they're good kind of movies, then
Uh-huh.
it's a lot of fun. I think those are nice. Obviously, good movies are nice to watch as well, but I enjoy watching like a really bad movie with your friends and having a laugh a little bit. Yeah, movies, that's mine. How about you?
I would say, without doubt, series. Um,
Oh,
I like good films, just for the record.
not bad ones.
Not bad ones. But I think I've got a problem with my attention span at the moment. And maybe
Mm,
that's due to all the time I spend on my phone. So then
I think the same.
I can stay hooked and focused on a series for like 20 minutes without looking at my phone. And if it's a really
Mm,
good one, I can do the same for like a 40, 50-minute episode of a series. And then I like the fact that you can start a series and then have like, okay, this week, this month, that's what we'll watch.
mm.
You don't have to make
Yeah.
any decisions when you're about to watch something. It's like, oh, let's choose a film. 1 hour later,
You've got it.
on the film, and then you don't like it and you kind of zone out after 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
I
me,
could see that.
series.
A good series, you're in it, you've got it for a while. Yeah. I think I get that. I get that. And I agree with the attention span thing. Sometimes I find myself needing two screens sometimes. And that's not good. You shouldn't need that, but hey, it is what it is, eh?
Like sometimes we'll be watching a series or a film, and I'll look at my phone and just check something quickly. And then my girlfriend might like turn around and look at me and is like, "Do you not like it?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's good. I can't help myself."
I know, I know. What are we doing to ourselves? Well, maybe if you watched a movie, like, if you know you had a place you can pause it and be like, I can come back to it. But I think it's the pressure of knowing you're in this for like 2 hours. Maybe that's the reason. But yeah, I have to say films. I'm sorry.
We
Those are
can
my
agree
go-to.
to disagree. That's
We can
fine.
agree to disagree for sure. But
Um,
films.
Next, online shopping versus shopping at a shopping center or city center, in-person shopping, let's say. Hmm.
Oh, these are not easy. I thought these would be easy, but I have to, think about them a little bit. I like online shopping in the sense I don't have to leave my house
Uh-huh.
that much. There's more discounts usually online, but I'm quite small in terms of being short. So
Yeah.
I need to try things on because they look great online, but obviously then the reality is the person in the picture is not as short as I am. So I need to test them out, try them on, and then see if it works. So clothes shopping, shoe shopping has to be in person, but anything that I can buy online, I like to do it. Or if it's something local, I like to support like local businesses. So if I can do that in person, I will, for sure. And what about you? Was I've given you every answer. There is literally I didn't choose in
I
that
mean,
one.
at least you've made it very clear of if you want to choose any one of these, you can use these arguments. So if you're thinking about
Mm.
your IELTS speaking, then
Mm.
practice.
It's the teacher in me. I'm like, all options are good.
Be indecisive. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I'd say for me, I'm afraid we can agree to disagree again because I would say
Mm.
me always online shopping because I get really stressed and hot whenever I have to try things on. And then usually
Okay.
when I'm looking at things on the hangers, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. And then I don't have fun if I go shopping. Whereas
Yeah.
on my phone and I just click something. And as I get older, I kind of just want to wear the same clothes all the time. So
Yeah.
like a black t-shirt is like my go-to at the moment. It's like if I'm
Mhm.
sweating, you can't tell. And black is always simple and it's not too informal, but it's not too formal either. It's just, my
Perfect.
go-to outfit. So online shopping for me.
I could see that. That's a good option. I do like the hot and bothered thing about, don't go on the weekend. That's my top tip. If you want to shop in person, go at a quiet time where there's not a lot of people. You're sweating less. Usually, there's less pressure. But I understand online can be a nicer experience, less stressful for sure.
Good, good, good. Okay, let's do one more.
Mhm.
Hmm. Decisions. Let's do an easy one. I think it's easy.
None of these are easy.
Have to choose. Have to pick a side. You cannot be
Yeah.
on the
Don't
fence.
be indecisive. Exactly.
Oh, I think this is easy. At least it's
Hmm.
straightforward for me. Sweet or savory food? Not salty, but savory food. What do you prefer?
I feel like every question I just
It's
go
like, well,
two
on the
ways.
one hand,
Yeah, I'm just very like, I like both. I enjoy a good sweet for sure. Chocolate obviously is my go-to. But I have something for like crisps. I really like crisps, but more specifically cheese and onion flavored, which I cannot get in Spain at all. So it's kind of cured my addiction a little bit. But yeah, savory. I'm going with savory. I'm making a decision this time. If I had to choose, it would be that one.
well done. I'm proud of you. We've come so far during this call.
Yes, I've made a decision. How
Um,
about you?
I couldn't agree more. I don't
What a
have a
great
sweet
question to
tooth.
end on.
I know, we've come to an agreement. I don't have a sweet tooth. I'm not that into sweet food. Of course, I like chocolate, I like ice cream, but
Mm.
I never really like crave it. Whereas
Okay, yes.
always crave savory food and crisps as well. In fact, last week with Dan from Brit Speak, we were actually speaking about our favorite types of crisps. And I said prawn cocktail or salt and
Okay.
vinegar, but no, cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion. That's the way to go. It's just a great flavor. It's amazing. You can't debate that. Come
Good.
on.
It's very Moorish as well. It's very addictive. You open a
Yeah.
packet and you always want more.
And it's weird because, as I mentioned, we don't have that flavor in Spain, but they have other flavors which I don't quite get myself, like tomato and cheese, I think, is it? Or one is egg flavored. I've seen that and I just don't get that one. I just don't understand. But whatever you like, people might think cheese and onion is strange. I enjoy it, so whatever you like, I'm okay with that.
Whatever floats your boat, you know?
Whatever floats your
Whatever you
boat.
like, whatever you fancy, whatever floats your boat, you know? If you like it,
Exactly.
no judgment. You do you, I'll do
You
me.
do you. Absolutely. But as long as you don't do what I used to do and eat way too many, that definitely wasn't good for my health. But anyway, I've stopped now. It's okay.
I mean,
I've gotten over it.
because you can't actually
I
find.
can't get them, so it's like I've gone cold turkey basically. I've just stopped eating cheese and onion crisps immediately. There's no short period where I'm kind of coming off eating them. It's just none. There are none. I'm devastated, as
Well,
you can tell.
it's all right. It's all right. I'm sure you'll be back in
And
Ireland
emotional.
soon and you can stock up and get like cheese and onion crisps for months.
Fill my suitcase.
It's like, did you bring any clothes? No. But look at all this.
No, I just needed room for some Tao crisps. That's it. Going back through the airport, they're like, "What's in your bags?" And just crisps coming out of the suitcase.
Oh, well, I think on that note, it's a perfect way to end this podcast and this conversation. Just on imagining Claire with a full suitcase, crisps, and she's going to
Yes,
the
the
airport.
dream.
They open it. It's like, oh my God, what's this? And they
And
come
they
back.
just,
Yeah.
all the crisps come out. It's a great dream.
Wow, you're gonna dream about that tonight, aren't you? And it's like
I am.
my
It's
happy
gonna be a
place.
great dream. I'm gonna have a brilliant dream. Now I'm gonna have to try and source some cheese and onion crisps. You've got my cravings up again. I was okay until this conversation.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, I'm not that bad. We need to stop talking like I'm really addicted. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. But yeah, we can end on that note. And let us know if you also like cheese and onion crisps in the comments.
and if you're not keen on cheese and onion, what kind of crisps do you like most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video if you want to see more. If you have any other people that you'd like me to have a chat with, let me know also in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a good laugh. Now we're going to be depressed because it's over. After months
Oh,
of
I just realized we're
over.
done. No.
So, thank you, Claire, so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
And yeah, it's been fun. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll do this again in the future.
Yeah, I had a great time. I didn't even notice the time. It was brilliant.
Time flies when you're having
When you're
fun.
having fun.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank
And I'll
you.
see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.